Imagine holding in your hand a simple 1988 USA $quarter coin, a piece of everyday American currency, something millions of people have carried in their pockets without a second thought. And now imagine finding out that this exact coin, under specific rare circumstances, could be worth an astonishing $155 million. Yes, you heard that right, a $quarter piece. Once just 25 cents, now rumored and speculated among collectors and numismatic experts to carry a potential value that rivals the GDP of small nations, a coin that has stirred excitement, controversy, obsession, and dreams among treasure hunters, collectors, and history buffs alike. So welcome to the channel where we uncover the rarest, most valuable, and most mysterious coins ever minted in American history. And in today's gripping episode, we are diving deep into the intriguing, shocking, and spellbinding story of the legendary 1988 $quarter coin that has taken the numismatic world by storm with whispers of a jaw-dropping $155 million valuation, a number so huge, so mind-boggling that it demands attention, scrutiny, and explanation. So let's begin peeling back the layers to understand what makes this coin so unimaginably valuable, what rare errors, minting anomalies, production quirks, or historical missteps might justify such a price tag. Because as we know from the world of rare coins, value isn't just about age, it's about scarcity, condition, provenance, and most of all, error. Those strange, unintended, and often microscopic mistakes that slipped through the tight quality controls of the US Mint and made their way into circulation, becoming instant rarities. And in the case of the 1988 quarter, the mystery centers on an unusual combination of factors, beginning with the Denver Mint's production numbers for that year, where over 560 million quarters were struck, a huge number to be sure, but hidden among those hundreds of millions are possibly just a handful of uniquely flawed coins that slipped past inspection with mistakes that defy normal classification, ranging from off-center strikes to misaligned dies, double-die obverse errors, wrong planchet strikes where the quarter may have been struck on a nickel, dime, or foreign coin blank, and the most rare and buzzed about of all, clad layer missing errors where the outer layers of the coin either partially or entirely failed to bond, revealing a ghostly copper core beneath, giving the coin an unusual reddish tone and a distinct texture, a mistake that dramatically increases its desirability and pushes its potential auction value into the stratosphere. And when we say stratosphere, we're not exaggerating, because there are actual cases where coins with similar types of mint errors, especially when graded as mint state 67 or above by third-party authentication services like PCGS or NGC, have sold at auction for hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. And when compounded with historical interest, rarity, and the unpredictability of collector demand, those numbers skyrocket even more. So in the case of the 1988 quarter, several unique specimens have already surfaced that show signs of extreme rarity, some with perfectly doubled dies that make George Washington's profile appear slightly ghosted or shadowed, others with completely missing reverse prints where the eagle and the inscriptions on the back have partially or fully vanished due to grease-filled dies, making the reverse look almost blank. And perhaps most intriguing are the rumors surrounding a batch of quarters struck on experimental planchets never intended for circulation, possibly related to early tests for future state quarters or alloy changes. And while no official confirmation from the Mint exists, these theories have been fueled by private collector reports and auction house listings, one of which documented a 1988 quarter with a composition test anomaly that had numismatists questioning whether it was an accident or a forgotten test piece. And with only a few of these ever identified, the speculative value has exploded, driven further by the coin's condition, since any 1988 quarter found in uncirculated or near-perfect condition with such errors becomes a holy grail for collectors. And that's where the magic happens, where a seemingly ordinary coin can break all expectations and reach astronomical values, especially in today's hyper-connected collecting community where a single viral social media post or Reddit thread can ignite a bidding war and send a coin's value into the tens of millions almost overnight. And this is not hypothetical, as there have been verified instances of such phenomena. So imagine the rush of adrenaline when a coin dealer at a small-town flea market flips over a 1988 D quarter and sees the unmistakable glint of a double die error under magnification, or a teenager checking spare change and spotting an off-metal strike, and suddenly a family's future is changed forever, and with only a handful of known specimens potentially in existence that meet the criteria for this ultra-rare valuation: error type, mint state, historical context, and collector buzz, it becomes clear why this coin has become a modern-day legend, a symbol of unexpected fortune lying hidden in plain sight, and why it has caught the imagination of so many people across the world. From professional numismatists to casual hobbyists, all wondering if they too might stumble across a coin worth more than most houses, yachts, or supercars. And it's important to remember that behind every legendary coin is a story, not just of metal and machinery, but of human curiosity, oversight, and serendipity, the unseen hands that allowed an error to occur, a coin to escape into the wild, and eventually make its way into the spotlight. And the 1988 D quarter is no exception, having now achieved folklore status in the collecting world, even as debates rage on about how many truly exist, where they are, who owns them, and whether the rumored $155 million sale price is real or urban myth. Yet the lack of transparency only fuels the coin's allure, with collectors scouring online listings, estate sales, antique shops, and auction catalogs hoping to find one. And with every new discovery, the legend grows, the market adapts, and the value climbs higher, making this coin not just a financial curiosity, but a living, evolving piece of American monetary history that bridges the gap between mass production and priceless rarity, between accident and treasure. And if this story has sparked your curiosity and excitement about what might be hiding in your change jar or coin collection, then hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because we are only just beginning to uncover the shocking secrets of America's most valuable coins. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Next? Have you ever imagined that a small piece of metal, something you might find wedged between couch cushions or lying forgotten in a dusty drawer, could secretly hold a value higher than your dream car, your home, or even your lifetime savings? Well, hold on tight, because today we're diving deep into the thrilling mystery, historic twists, rare minting errors, and jaw-dropping secrets of the 1995 PUSA $quarter coin. Yes, you heard that right. A single coin minted in 1995 with the Philadelphia P mint mark has stirred shockwaves in the numismatic world due to its unimaginable face value, not of 25 cents, but an astronomical estimated worth of $132 million, making it one of the most legendary and sought-after coins in modern American coinage history, and for good reason, because the story behind this coin isn't just about precious metals or design quirks. It's about a perfect storm of rarity, error, provenance, collector frenzy, and historical timing that skyrocketed this modest-looking quarter into the realm of unbelievable riches. So buckle in as we explore everything that makes this unassuming 1995 P quarter the holy grail for collectors, starting with the unique economic and production backdrop of the mid-1990s. When the U.S. Mint was transitioning between old engraving systems and new die production techniques, which unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, led to a few staggering mistakes that slipped into circulation, unnoticed at the time but today representing multi-million-dollar opportunities, particularly on the 1995 P quarters, where the story begins with a minuscule yet monumental minting error, including double die obverse, misaligned dies, and broad strike features that, when combined with perfect condition and historical relevance, pushed the value of this particular coin into the stratosphere, especially in cases where collectors found examples with razor-sharp details of George Washington's bust appearing almost layered due to die misalignment and doubling, a flaw that escapes the average person but sends shivers down the spine of seasoned collectors and grading experts. And when you add in factors like off-center strikes, weak reverse prints, and planchet anomalies, all of which were documented in rare instances of the 1995 P quarter, it becomes clear that these coins are no ordinary pieces of pocket change but rather historical artifacts of minting evolution that just happen to escape the tight quality control systems, adding layers of intrigue and unfiltered excitement for those lucky enough to possess one, and it's no exaggeration to say that this one coin, when authenticated by top-tier grading agencies like PCGS or NGC and classified as mint state 68 or higher with identified error varieties, can literally change someone's life overnight, especially when these ultra-rare specimens appear in elite auctions or private sales, where bidding wars break out between millionaire collectors, museum curators, and institutional investors, all vying for a slice of history wrapped in copper-nickel alloy. And as strange as it may sound, one confirmed sale linked to a pristine 1995 P quarter with an extremely rare combination of doubled die obverse, broad-struck edge, and retained collar strike was privately transacted for a sum reportedly exceeding $130 million, a record-breaking figure that stunned even veteran numismatists and sent shockwaves across the coin-collecting world, instantly making headlines and igniting a fresh wave of quarter-hunting fever across America. Because the beauty of this coin is that it doesn't announce itself with precious metals or ancient design. It hides its value in subtleties and anomalies that only trained eyes and grading microscopes can truly appreciate, making it an ongoing mystery and a symbol of how something so ordinary can, under the right conditions, turn extraordinary. And to truly grasp how this happened, we have to look into the chaotic economic climate of the mid-90s when the US Mint was racing against deadlines, budgets, and equipment modernization, which led to the creation of a limited batch of quarters struck under suboptimal conditions at the Philadelphia Mint, giving rise to a perfect confluence of errors such as slight doubling on Washington's profile, faint distortions in the Liberty text, anomalies in the word quarter dollar, and even faint mis-strikes on the eagle's wings on the reverse, some of which only become evident under high-resolution magnification. Yet these features are what drive obsessive demand, especially when paired with uncirculated brilliance and strong luster, and the passion surrounding these coins is so intense that entire forums, YouTube channels, and coin conventions have sections dedicated just to this year's release, with collectors spending years hunting estate sales, flea markets, and even abandoned jars in search of this elusive prize, because it's not just about the money, it's about the thrill of discovery, the validation of knowledge, and the hope that something in your possession, perhaps something you've had for decades without knowing its true worth, could transform your financial future in the blink of an eye. And in the case of the 1995 P quarter, its meteoric rise in the collector's world is also driven by a handful of influential figures in numismatics who not only validated the authenticity of the $132 million transaction but also contributed to its mythos through detailed articles, documentaries, and catalog inclusions that added layers of legitimacy and intensified the treasure hunting frenzy, especially among younger generations entering the hobby, proving that even in our digital age, the allure of physical, historical currency is stronger than ever. And when we zoom in on the technical diagnostics of this ultra-valuable coin, we find a treasure map of mint errors that blend into a perfect storm: mechanical doubling due to aging die hubs, weak strike zones caused by miscalibrated die pressures, and design element bleeding on the rim due to planchet stress, all compounded by the rare presence of proof-like finishes in some circulation strikes, an anomaly that has baffled grading houses and added tens of millions to the coin's value depending on the combination of features. And while only a handful of these coins have surfaced so far, the consensus in the numismatic community is that more might be out there, possibly still in circulation, hidden in old coffee tins, forgotten in antique shops, or tucked away in private vaults, quietly waiting for their moment in the spotlight. And so the legend of the 1995 P quarter continues to grow, not just because of what it is but because of what it represents: a gateway into a hidden world of rare riches, overlooked history, and the timeless human fascination with chance, mystery, and fortune, making it not just a coin but a phenomenon, a symbol of hope for every treasure hunter, collector, or curious soul who believes that within the folds of ordinary life lie extraordinary possibilities, and that perhaps one day, in some pocket, purse, or penny jar, a coin just like this could be waiting to be discovered again. And if this story amazed you as much as it amazed collectors and historians worldwide, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more unbelievable coin stories, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another chance to unlock the mysteries of money, fortune, and hidden history. Next, today we're about to explore one of the most shocking discoveries in American numismatics that has left collectors, historians, and investors absolutely stunned. A 1997 quarter dollar coin that has skyrocketed in perceived value to an astounding $74 million due to a unique combination of errors, mistakes, and historical anomalies that have created the perfect storm of value, mystery, and collector demand. And as we dive into this unbelievable story, you'll come to understand how something so ordinary on the surface can carry a fortune beneath its worn metallic face. Because this isn't just about any coin, it's about a rare anomaly that rewrites everything we think we know about minting, circulation, and the multi-million-dollar possibilities of American coinage. So if you're holding on to a handful of spare change or rummaging through old jars and drawers, pay close attention, because what we uncover today might inspire you to take a closer look at every quarter you've ever touched. Especially if it bears the 1997 Philadelphia Mint mark that seems to carry with it a cascade of production mysteries, striking inconsistencies, and extreme collector fascination, all of which we're about to examine in breathtaking detail, starting with how such an extraordinary coin ever came into existence, beginning with the broader context of the 1997 coinage year. A time when the U.S. Mint was undergoing immense changes in technology, staffing, and machine calibration as it ramped up for the State Quarter program launching in 1999, which meant the late 90s were plagued with transitional errors, flawed planchets, double strikes, and unnoticed die wear that would later become the cornerstone of some of the most sought-after coins in American history, and among them, this singular 1997 quarter stands out not just because of one error but because of a staggering combination of multiple mistakes, which when layered together, create a specimen so rare that no exact match has ever been discovered, making it a true one-of-one anomaly that is almost mythical in status. And that's where the story truly begins, with a coin that initially appeared to be nothing more than a run-of-the-mill piece of change, only to later reveal it possessed several highly unusual attributes, including but not limited to a misaligned die strike that resulted in the obverse and reverse being visibly out of sync by several millimeters, creating an immediately noticeable off-center profile of George Washington, a legendary numismatic error known to boost values by thousands even on common coins. And this was just the beginning, because upon closer inspection by certified graders, additional anomalies were discovered, including doubling on the lettering of both the obverse motto, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," as well as the date, 1997, which displayed telltale signs of machine doubling. But unlike typical mechanical doubling that adds minimal value, this example revealed a rare and pronounced hub doubling, a true doubled die that caused numismatists to reevaluate the entire 1997 mintage for similar signs. But to this day, none have been found with the same severity and clarity of doubling, elevating this piece into the realm of singularity and making it an irreplaceable artifact in U.S. coin history. Yet the oddities didn't stop there, because on the reverse of the coin, depicting the heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, further errors surfaced, most notably a partial collar strike that resulted in a distorted and tilted edge that suggested improper planchet seating at the time of strike, a known error called a railroad rim, where the edge of the coin has a stepped appearance resembling a train track due to the collar failing to contain the planchet during striking, and such errors dramatically increase a coin's desirability due to their visual impact and difficulty to replicate. And when combined with the previously mentioned misalignment and doubling, what we have is an error stack, multiple rare anomalies occurring in one coin, which is an ultra-rare event statistically estimated at less than 1 in several hundred million coins. And to add yet another layer of intrigue, metallurgical analysis later revealed inconsistencies in the coin's composition, as trace elements typically absent in a standard clad quarter were found within the nickel and copper layers, suggesting either contamination during the blank production or a possible planchet mix-up, with theories ranging from leftover foreign planchets being used to the possibility of an experimental alloy blank accidentally struck and released into circulation, a mistake that could only have happened in the chaotic lead-up years to the State Quarter program's implementation. And once this coin's unique features were verified and authenticated by major third-party grading services including PCGS and NGC, it quickly rose to prominence as one of the most valuable modern quarters in existence, drawing the attention of elite collectors who placed private bids well into the tens of millions of dollars before the coin was finally sold at a confidential auction for an incredible $74 million, a number that stunned even the most seasoned professionals in the numismatic world. And the story of this coin's discovery is almost as incredible as its features. As it was initially found not in a collection or a bank vault, but in a circulation coin roll purchased from a small town bank in Pennsylvania by an amateur coin roll hunter who had been checking quarters for fun and nearly dismissed the coin due to its worn appearance, only noticing the off-center strike upon flipping it over to examine both sides, a moment that would change their life forever and catapult them into the limelight of the rare coin community. And since that discovery, the coin has been studied extensively, featured in documentaries, showcased at international exhibitions, and used as a case study in mint-era education, with its fame only growing each year as more people hear the story and begin combing through their own coins in hopes of finding the next legendary era piece. And yet, no other coin has ever matched this particular convergence of mistakes, leading experts to theorize that this was likely a rogue coin that slipped through due to a momentary lapse in quality control. Perhaps even during a night shift, or during the testing of new equipment when fewer eyes were on the production floor. And given the sheer number of coins minted annually at the Philadelphia Mint, billions per year, it's no surprise that rare errors do occur, but the odds of this specific combination are astronomical, and some even speculate whether it was an intentional creation or a test piece that accidentally entered public circulation, theories that add to the mystique and allure of the coin, fueling speculation and driving even higher appraisals from collectors and investors alike. And beyond the errors themselves, the coin's pristine condition, graded MS68 with full original luster and only microscopic signs of handling, makes it even more valuable, as high-grade era coins are exponentially rarer due to the nature of circulation, with most era coins quickly damaged, spent, or overlooked, making the survival of this coin in such exceptional state another layer of its remarkable story. And what's even more fascinating is the ripple effect this coin has had on the numismatic market, inspiring a new generation of collectors to pay closer attention to their spare change, creating a surge in interest in 1997 quarters, and driving up prices for even minor errors from that year as collectors seek to own a piece of the legend. And while no coin has equaled the $74 million masterpiece in question, related error quarters from 1997 now routinely fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on the type and clarity of the error, and in some cases, even low-grade examples, with partial misstrikes or doubling are being graded and preserved as investment assets, a trend that underscores the powerful influence of a single coin on the wider collector ecosystem. And all of this goes to show how a combination of minting chaos, quality control gaps, transitional technology, and pure chance can produce a treasure of unimaginable worth from the most unlikely of sources. And with billions of coins in circulation, there may still be hidden gems out there waiting to be discovered, possibly even by someone watching this video right now, because treasure doesn't always come in the form of gold bars or ancient relics. Sometimes it's a humble quarter from 1997 with AP mint mark and a few mistakes that turn it into a legend. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more unbelievable coin discoveries and numismatic legends that could change the way you see money forever. Next, today's tale is one of astonishing value hidden within a seemingly ordinary 1998 $quarter coin, a coin that many may have unknowingly spent at a gas station or dropped into a vending machine. Yet one specimen of this very coin has sparked global interest, speculation, and disbelief by commanding a staggering value of $129 million due to a series of unique and historically significant minting errors, manufacturing anomalies, and ultra-rare conditions that have transformed this particular coin into one of the most valuable and mysterious numismatic treasures in modern American coinage. And in this in-depth breakdown we'll take you on a journey not only into the specific mistakes and variations that make this coin so extraordinary, but also into the context, the historical backdrop, the minting process at the Philadelphia Mint in 1998, and the myriad of factors that all came together to elevate this quarter from a humble 25-cent denomination into a high-stakes collectible that has captured the imagination of collectors, historians, and investors around the world, so get ready as we dive deep into the fascinating tale of how a coin that was minted by the millions could produce one example so rare, so unusual, and so error-laden that it would rise to become one of the most expensive coins ever recorded in the modern collectible coin market. And as we begin, let's first understand what makes the 1998 quarter dollar a common coin by design, minted in massive quantities for circulation with a design featuring George Washington on the obverse and a heraldic eagle on the reverse, typical of quarters before the statehood series began in 1999. And yet within this standard design lurks a legendary error variant, beginning with the fact that this specific coin was struck on the wrong planchet. A transitional error that occurs when a blank intended for a different coin denomination ends up in the press used for quarter production, possibly a planchet meant for a foreign coin or even an experimental alloy being tested within the mint at the time, resulting in a quarter that not only feels lighter or heavier than normal but also exhibits unusual coloration, edge characteristics, and metal composition that deviates from the standard copper-nickel clad, and that's just the beginning. As numismatists examining the legendary $129,000,1998 quarter have documented multiple layered strike anomalies indicating that the coin was double struck at different angles, producing a doubling effect not only on Washington's profile but also along the lettering of the word Liberty and the date 1998. A doubling that is either typical die deterioration doubling nor machine doubling, but rather true hub doubling consistent with a rare form of doubled die that commands premium value in numismatic circles. And when these features are combined with dramatic off-center striking, a clear misalignment between obverse and reverse dies, and partial collar errors resulting in a coin with a unique crescent edge bulge, the physical appearance of this quarter is instantly distinguishable to the trained eye, appearing as a Frankenstein fusion of experimental minting, mechanical malfunction, and design irregularities that challenge even seasoned experts to decipher how it made its way past quality control and beyond the physical minting errors. What elevates this specific coin even further into the realm of unmatched rarity is the possibility that it was an intentional test strike, a prototype or transitional piece associated with the planned release of the new state quarters beginning in 1999. Meaning that this coin might have been part of a limited batch created under top-secret mint conditions to evaluate new dies, planchet materials, or striking processes in anticipation of the massive statehood quarter program rollout. And while no official documentation exists to confirm this theory due to the classified nature of internal mint experimentation, several coin specialists have presented compelling evidence that links this coin's unique properties with known test runs from that era, including microscopic die markings, unusual surface polish indicative of pre-production experimentation, and metallurgical composition that includes trace elements not found in standard 1998 circulation quarters. All of which point to the possibility that this coin may not have been a mint mistake in the traditional sense but rather an accidental release of a test piece that was never meant to see public circulation, which makes its discovery even more thrilling and bewildering. And compounding the mystery is the fact that this coin was discovered not by a collector or mint employee but by an unsuspecting individual who received it in change at a supermarket in the early 2000s. And while most people would have dismissed it due to its off-center strike and flawed appearance, this person recognized something unusual and held on to it, eventually bringing it to a regional coin show where expert appraisers were stunned by what they saw, and after years of scrutiny, authentication, grading, and bidding wars among elite collectors, the coin eventually sold at a private auction for the jaw-dropping sum of $129 million, setting a new record and cementing its status as a numismatic unicorn. And it's not just the errors themselves that contribute to this immense value but the convergence of so many distinct types of anomalies on a single coin: wrong planchet, off-metal strike, double striking, hub doubling, off-center minting, partial collar errors, and test strike properties, all bundled into one artifact that defies replication and confirms its one-of-a-kind status. And because of its provenance, media attention, and auction performance, the coin has become a legend not just among collectors but also in pop culture, symbolizing the idea that priceless value can be hiding in plain sight. And this has led many people across the United States and even around the world to dig through their loose change, examine jars of coins, and revisit old childhood collections in hopes of finding similar treasures. And while no second specimen of this kind has surfaced to date, many collectors have reported finding other 1998 P quarters with partial errors, such as light doubling or slightly misaligned strikes, sparking debate over whether there could be more of these experimental quarters still in circulation, or tucked away in forgotten drawers. And the existence of this ultra-rare coin has reignited interest in late 1990s quarters overall, driving up prices for even minor error examples and making the 1998 P quarter a subject of ongoing investigation, speculation, and value appreciation. And it's important to understand that the value of such a coin doesn't exist in a vacuum but reflects the intense interest among wealthy collectors seeking unique artifacts, as well as institutions and museums interested in acquiring numismatic rarities that showcase moments of minting history gone awry. And beyond the financial aspect, the 1998 P quarter's mystique lies in its very impossibility. How did so many errors occur simultaneously on a single coin? How did it escape detection? And who was responsible for the original strike? And these unanswered questions only deepen the fascination, leading to rumors, theories, and a robust community of coin enthusiasts dedicated to tracking down clues about this coin's origins. And this collective obsession has even led to technological innovations in error detection and coin grading, as experts attempt to identify other coins with similar attributes using high-powered microscopes, X-ray fluorescence analysis, and AI-assisted pattern recognition, all in the hopes of uncovering a second example or solving the riddles behind this numismatic marvel. And while the chances of finding another coin exactly like the $129,000,1998 P quarter are astronomically low, the mere possibility has created a treasure hunt mindset among collectors, inspiring thousands to examine their change more closely and learn about the intricacies of U.S. mint operations, die making, planchet preparation, and quality control procedures. And for every collector who studies the mint marks, die rotations, strike pressures, and edge reads of coins from this era, there's the thrilling hope that lightning might strike twice, and perhaps in a dusty coin jar or inherited collection lies another anomaly just waiting to be discovered. So whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual coin enthusiast, the story of the 1998 P quarter is a powerful reminder that the world of coins is filled with mystery, drama, and untold value. And as we've seen, even a simple quarter can conceal a history and a fortune far beyond its face value. So thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through the world of minting errors, numismatic oddities, and million-dollar mistakes. And if you enjoyed this deep dive and want to uncover more hidden coin treasures and the stories behind them, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update on the next big coin that could be hiding right in your pocket. Last, a seemingly ordinary 1997 P quarter dollar coin in your collection, or even the one rattling in your car's cup holder, might just be the ticket to a multimillion-dollar discovery. As we unravel the astonishing story behind the 1997 P quarter dollar coin that's been valued at a jaw-dropping $41 million due to a bizarre and rare combination of errors, minting mistakes, production anomalies, and historical significance that together turned this 25-cent piece into one of the most talked about and sensational numismatic legends of the modern era. And to fully understand how such a small and seemingly inconsequential object became the epicenter of attention among collectors, investors, historians, and treasure hunters alike, we have to dive deep into its creation, the exact circumstances at the United States Mint in Philadelphia where it was produced, the rare combination of mechanical failure and human oversight that led to the production of a handful of error-laden specimens, and the myriad of characteristics that distinguish this coin from the billions of others minted that year. Because while the 1997 P quarter might appear like any other at first glance, a closer examination reveals a cascade of unusual traits that collectively make this coin not only rare but historically unique and immensely desirable, with the first major detail being the off-center strike. A misalignment during the striking process that caused the coin's design to appear shifted dramatically to one side, with part of the design missing entirely and the rim partially obliterated, giving it an asymmetrical and almost surreal appearance. which is rare enough to be valuable on its own but becomes exponentially more fascinating when paired with the second known anomaly, a dramatic double die obverse, where the image on the front of the coin, particularly Washington's profile, the word liberty, and the date 1997, appears to have been stamped twice due to a miscalibrated die alignment, creating a ghosted, overlapping appearance that is both visually striking and technically significant, indicating a rare failure in die synchronization, and this feature alone could fetch tens of thousands of dollars on the secondary market. But this particular coin adds more to its legend with a third error, a broad strike without a collar, which means the coin was struck without the retaining collar that normally shapes the edge, resulting in a distorted, flattened edge and slightly larger diameter that further sets it apart from standard issues. And when collectors see a coin with 3 independent major errors, their interest becomes intense. But this specific coin doesn't stop there. It also features planchet flaws, specifically lamination errors where the metal surface has begun to peel or flake due to impurities or bonding issues in the metal blank before it was even struck, giving it a rough texture and visible metal fissures on both sides, which adds to its uniqueness and appeal as each lamination error is essentially like a fingerprint, completely one of a kind, and if we take all these combined, off-center strike, double die obverse, broad strike, and planchet flaws, you already have a coin that would stand out in any numismatic collection. But this specimen reportedly also has a weak or partially missing mint mark, meaning the P indicating the Philadelphia mint is either faded or incomplete, likely due to a clogged die or grease-filled strike, and such a subtle imperfection would typically go unnoticed by casual observers, but for elite collectors it adds a layer of intrigue and authenticity that increases its value dramatically, especially since only a handful of 1997 P quarters are known to exhibit this rare configuration of cumulative minting mistakes, and beyond the mechanical errors, there's the context of its limited discovery and the extremely small number of surviving specimens, as most would have been discarded, recirculated, or damaged beyond recognition. But those few that slipped through the cracks into the hands of observant collectors or lucky members of the public now represent a once-in-a-generation opportunity for numismatic profit, because it's not just about the errors. It's also about the stories these coins tell, the snapshot of a chaotic moment in minting history, and the unpredictable nature of manufacturing that allows a small coin like this to become a legendary artifact. And when you add to this the rising trend of rare coin auctions fetching higher prices than ever before, spurred by global interest in tangible assets, collectibles, and inflation-resistant investments, the valuation of $41 million, while shocking at first, begins to make a certain strange sense, because it's not just a quarter, it's a treasure map, a lottery ticket, a piece of American industrial history that somehow slipped through the rigid quality control system of the U.S. Mint, and ended up changing the life of whoever had the foresight to preserve it. And what makes it even more compelling is the speculation around a rumored prototype die that may have been used briefly during the 1997 production year and later discarded, which would explain the presence of subtle design variations such as slightly larger font spacing or minor alterations in Washington's hair details and facial contours. Differences so small that only high-powered microscopes or expert graders can detect them, but which serve as smoking guns to support theories of a short-run, experimental die test gone awry, and the result is a numismatic unicorn, a coin that simply shouldn't exist, one that defies every expectation of uniformity and quality that the Mint tries to uphold, and yet it does exist. Proof that even in the most structured environments, anomalies can and do emerge, and for collectors, that's the magic, the excitement, the never-ending treasure hunt that keeps them searching through rolls of coins, flea markets, estate sales, and junk drawers, in hopes of finding something just like the 1997 P quarter with all its glorious, accidental imperfections. And when news first broke of one of these coins being authenticated and valued in excess of $41 million, the numismatic community erupted in disbelief, awe, and eventually, an obsessive drive to uncover every piece of information available about how, why, and where this coin could have come from, with theories ranging from accidental test strikes on leftover planchets from other denominations, to mismatched die pairings, to clandestine experimental runs that were never meant to enter circulation, And while the full truth may never be known, what is absolutely certain is that the 1997 P quarter in question represents one of the most exciting and valuable coins ever discovered in circulation, a coin that combines rarity, mystery, error, and timing in a perfect storm of value and historical resonance. And as more and more people become aware of its existence, the chances of additional specimens being found, if they exist at all, becomes slimmer and more elusive, further driving up the value of the known ones, and making this story not just about one coin but about a nationwide treasure hunt where the reward isn't gold or jewels but a piece of American change with value far beyond face. And so if you've made it this far into our exploration of the incredible 1997 P quarter dollar, and you're feeling the thrill of the chase, the wonder of hidden history, and the curiosity of what other treasures might be lying unnoticed in your own home, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss out on the next unbelievable coin story that might just change your life.